compliance hearing following an order for participation. Ms. Gutierrez is with us for the department. Mr. Ingram is with us representing the child. Ms. Lucero is with us representing the father. Mr. Molina, who is with us. Ms. Mullinax is with us representing the mother. Ms. Kibbe, I don't see her in my waiting room. Ms. Mullinax, were you expecting her?
Judge, she was at a meeting with all of us on Friday, so I figured she'd be here. Is there anybody on a phone line or anything?
No, ma'am. I have Lois Ricks in the waiting room. That's my only person.
Yeah, she's in this case.
Yeah, she's the caseworker on this one.
All right, we'll bring her in. We'll give it a couple of minutes to see if Miss Kibbe joins us. Otherwise, I'll watch the waiting room once we get started. So I'll be back very shortly, and we'll get started with or without her. All right, it's 9:05. We'll go ahead and get started. There's still no one in my waiting room. I will watch the waiting room, and if anyone comes in on a phone line or if it's Miss Kibbe, I'll interrupt and we'll bring her in. All right, Miss Gutierrez, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. The department calls Lois Ricks as its witness.
All right.
Ms. Ricks, who do you work for?
Texas Department of Family and Protective Services.
And what do you do for them?
I am a family-based safety services
And
worker.
are his parents Rebecca Kibbe and Travis Molina?
Yes,
Okay, thank you. And did you file a court report on March 9th of 2023?
yes,
Your Honor, we ask that the court take judicial notice of that court report.
All right, I will. So noted, I have read the report. It didn't say much about what the parents have or haven't done, so I might need a little more information.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. Now, Lois, can you go ahead and tell us what services Rebecca has initiated or completed since the last hearing? Or actually just from the service plan itself?
yes. Rebecca did complete her OSAR assessment and was referred for the Padre parenting classes and the substance abuse classes that Padre offers. She did start those services, but was dismissed due to non-attendance. She was asked to also engage in individual counseling. She has not, to my knowledge, gotten an appointment scheduled. Well, she missed one for the psychosocial assessment a couple of weeks ago. I do not know whether she has rescheduled that successfully or not. And she was asked to take random drug tests. Her most recent hair test, which I don't recall the date, she was positive for methamphetamines.
Okay, do you remember what month and year that positive for methamphetamine was?
It was in March.
Do you recall if it was a hair strand or a urinalysis?
It was a hair strand.
Is that it?
I believe so.
Okay. Were there any domestic violence classes for her to take as well?
I apologize. Yes, she was also referred or requested to complete a Women Against Violence assessment to determine whether she needed to take the WAVE class or be referred to the domestic violence support group. To my knowledge, she has not scheduled that assessment either.
Okay. Where is she living at this time? And without giving me an address.
To my knowledge, she is staying in a hotel in Amarillo.
Is she staying with anybody else in that hotel?
To my knowledge, she is with her boyfriend, Matt Evans.
And you understand, in the last compliance hearing, the judge ordered no contact between Matt Evans and the child, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So what does mom's visitation look like right now?
As of a family group conference held on the 17th, she is allowed to see Buck, supervised by her mother, Lisa DeSoto, at least a couple of times a week, or if Lisa and Travis agree to have more times available to her, then they can arrange that as well.
Okay, and to clarify, those more times that can be arranged, would those be supervised by Lisa DeSoto as well?
Yes, all of her contact with Buck is supervised by her mother.
Where is Buck currently residing?
He's currently residing with his father, Travis Molina.
Okay. Now, you mentioned that mom completed the OSAR. Is that a substance abuse assessment?
Yes.
And the Padre program and the substance abuse classes that sound like they're within the Padre program, is that right?
Correct. It's two different sets of classes. Individuals can be referred for only the parenting or only the substance abuse, or both. And she was referred for both.
When did that referral occur? If you could give me the month and year.
December 19th, 2022.
It sounds like we may need an additional order for mom to complete the substance abuse class within the Padre program, Your Honor, if
Okay.
that would be possible.
Sure.
Thank you. Lois, let's go ahead and switch over to talking about Travis. Is anybody else residing with Travis and Buck?
Yes, Travis has two teenage sons, and his mother, Lisa Davenport, has also moved in with him.
Okay, and what were the circumstances of Miss Davenport moving in?
We had asked that Travis be temporarily supervised around his children.
Okay, can you please inform the court why?
There was an incident where Travis invited Rebecca to his home and ended up smashing the windows of the vehicle that she drove there in. He was arrested for criminal mischief and was described as being under the influence of alcohol at the time of the arrest.
And following that, the department, to secure safety or to help provide more safety for the child, asked somebody to move in. Is that correct?
Initially, he was staying with a friend, and then his mother was willing to move in with him.
Okay, how is Buck doing there with his father?
He is doing well.
Okay, can you please give me some details?
He attends daycare every day unless he's sick. He's happy. He seems well bonded with his father and grandmother and brothers.
Now, let's go ahead and go through Buck's service plan, please.
Buck?
I'm sorry, Travis's. Thank you.
Travis was also asked to complete the OSAR, the substance abuse assessment. He was recommended to the Padre parenting program, which he has completed. No, I apologize. I believe he has one more session that should be this week. And then whatever follow-up one-on-one that the coordinator from that program may feel necessary. He was also asked to complete anger management and individual counseling. Due to his work hours, we asked the individual counselor to address anger and past trauma with him during the individual sessions, which he did successfully complete.
Now, when was that completed? That individual counseling that addressed the anger and the past trauma?
I do not recall the date. I apologize.
Do you recall if it was before or after his arrest for busting the windows out on Rebecca's car?
It was before.
Okay, so are we asking now today for him to complete an additional service to address that anger, since his actions show that it was not fully addressed through individual counseling?
I mean, yes, we could do that.
Okay. What other services was he ordered to do?
Those are all that I recall at this time.
Your Honor, if I may have just a moment.
Other than the random drug tests and alcohol tests.
Okay, and how are Mr. Molina's random drug and alcohol tests showing?
He's been negative each time he's gone to test. He tests the same day that he's asked to go.
Okay. Now, Ms. Riggs, it looks like he was ordered to do a psychological evaluation. Has he completed that?
Oh, he did the psychosocial assessment before the individual counseling.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Your Honor. Were there any recommendations from it that we need to ask the court to order?
Just the completion of the individual counseling and random drug and alcohol tests, which he's completed all of those things.
Okay. Now, Lois, is there also a batterer's intervention program that the department often asks the court to order in domestic violence cases?
Yes.
Would that be more or less workable compared to anger management for Mr. Molina to address the continuing violence?
I would have to rely on an assessment from the batterer's intervention coordinator to determine whether he would be appropriate for that program or not.
Okay, so then are we asking the court for Mr. Molina to order Mr. Molina to complete an assessment with BIP?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Lois, do you feel confident that the child's safety is being ensured by the involvement of both grandmothers with their children?
Yes.
Okay, and at this time we are not looking to remove, is that correct?
Correct.
Is it fair to say that if the case continues to not go well, that will be something that is considered?
Yes.
Okay, pass the witness.
All right, Ms. Mullinex.
Lois, is it your understanding that Mr. Molina no longer has to be supervised as of Friday?
That is correct.
And so would you agree that he's made some steps since the 1st of March to alleviate the issues regarding his alcohol intake?
Yes.
And Rebecca, she actually wasn't really engaging in services, and she's recently taken a drug test and started getting things scheduled, correct?
Correct.
And pass the witness.
All right, Ms. Lucero.
Judge, if it helps, I think the question was, is he attending AA twice a week?
All right, Ms. Ricks, you can answer that. Is Mr. Molina attending AA twice weekly?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
And as far as there hasn't, besides that happened with Miss Kitty,
Ms. Lucero, you're breaking up so bad. If you're going to have to ask real short and succinct questions, if we can even do that.
Mr. Molina has completed most of his correct?
Most of his classes?
Yes,
Is that what you?
all his services.
Yes, he has.
In your opinion, do you believe Molina to take the BIP classes?
I'm sorry, that's why we do an assessment. They decide whether he should take them or not. So.
Okay, all right, then that's fine. I'll pass the witness.
All right, Mr. Ingram.
No questions.
All right, Ms. Gutierrez, anything further from the department?
Nothing further from the department, Your Honor. We're just asking that Mr. Molina go ahead and be ordered to take that Batters Intervention Prevention Program assessment, as
Okay.
well as Ms. Kibbe be ordered to complete the substance abuse portion of the Padre classes.
All right, thank you. Ms. Ricks, are you asking for drug tests from either parent today?
Yes.
Pair and UA from both, or what?
UAs.
Okay. All right, then, Ms. Molinax, any witnesses? Your client still never made it to the waiting room.
No witnesses are on arrest.
All right, thank you. Ms. Lucero, any witnesses?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Ingham, recommendations?
Continue working services, continue mom's visitation to be supervised.
Okay,
And Your Honor, to inform the court, we are asking for a compliance hearing to be set 1 month out.
okay.
Thank you.
I have April 17. All right, then, based on what I've heard today, I will order the parents to continue working the services as previously ordered by this court. I'll order Ms. Kibbe to successfully complete the Padre substance abuse program. I'll order Mr. Molina to take the BIP assessment and follow any recommendations. I'll order both parents to UA drug screen by 4 p.m. today. And I'll order that Ms. Kibbe's visitation will be suspended if she fails to drug test today or if she's positive for any illegal substance. Okay, I'll set a compliance hearing for April 17th, 2023. All right, that will conclude this hearing. For those of you involved, I'll be back here in just a few minutes to call. Okay, this case was set for 9:30. It's now 9:34. We will proceed in Ms. Robertson's absence. Ms. Gutierrez, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I have just an extremely brief breakout room with Laurie Robal?
Sure.
And Kayla Martinez?
All right. Ms. Gutierrez, are you ready?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. All right, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. I would like to inform the court, I heard from Ms. Archer that Mr. Rempel was released from El Paso County, Colorado jail. However, he was picked up by, I believe, their Department of Corrections, I think was the information she had shared with me.
So he's still in the Colorado penal system in some manner?
Natalie, do you know if it's specifically Colorado's department that picked him up?
I do not know if it's in Colorado. I've tried to do a public data search, and the place where he was said they have no information since he was released. I guess it was for a parole violation. So I have been trying, but I have been unable to find him.
Okay, but we do know he has been rearrested.
Yes, because of that parole violation. And I don't know if that was from the offense that he was incarcerated for or something new.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Okay, all right, well, all right, then we will go ahead without either parent, obviously, so. Ms. Gutierrez? Go ahead, Ms. Gutierrez.
Thank you, Your Honor. Oh, that's bad.
Yeah,
Let me try and get on with my phone.
okay, yeah,
I don't know why this happens.
all right, let's do that.
I'm sorry, Judge, but my phone has a restriction. It will not let me download the Zoom.
All right. Now, I don't know what to do, Miss. We can't do it.
Can I get out and get back in? Maybe it'll help.
I guess you can try. I thought I removed you once already, so you could try to get back in. I'll remove you again.
Okay. Is that better?
Well, we can hear you. We still got a little feedback. No. Miss Gutierrez, I don't know anything.
I can call in. I can call in and just use my, do audio only.
Okay, that's fine. Let's do that.
Okay.
All right. I don't seem to be getting any feedback. So, Miss Gutierrez, let's make hay while the sun shines.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Laurie, who do you work for?
I work for St. Francis Ministry.
What do you do for them?
I'm a permanency specialist.
Are you assigned to the case with Evan and Ethan?
Yes, I am.
Did you prepare a court report filed on March 10th of 2023?
Yes.
Your Honor, we ask that the court take judicial notice of that court report.
All right, so noted, and I have read the report.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, Rebecca, did you prepare service plans for each parent?
I did.
Okay, and is the location of Rebecca unknown as well as the location of Sean unknown?
That's correct.
And at this time, St. Francis believes that Sean Rimple has been reincarcerated, but we are unaware of where. Is that correct?
Correct.
Given those facts, were you able to review the service plans with either parent?
No.
Did either parent sign the service plan?
No.
And what efforts have you taken to locate Rebecca?
We have sent a letter and we have called several phone numbers that we had on a diligent search of previous addresses and phone numbers.
Okay.
With
I apologize for interrupting. Please finish your answer.
Yes, all the numbers were either inactive or wrong number.
Okay, and as well, have you made attempts to locate Sean Rimple?
Yes, I did call the Colorado Department of Corrections. They were to get back to me, but they could not tell me if he was or was not still incarcerated with them. I did see online that his release date was 3/23 at one point, but that's all the information I have.
Okay. Now, regarding the children, both children were ordered to take grief therapy. Can you tell the court what the issue is with grief therapy in Lubbock?
The grief therapy, we are looking for a location to see if they can help them with that. They are having therapy at their placement, but with the grief therapy, we're going to try to go through a hospice center for a referral.
Okay. And meanwhile, is their own therapist for each of them also addressing grief with them?
Yes, she is.
Okay, great. Now, the service plans that you created, do they aim to mitigate the reasons for removal?
Yes.
Okay. Are they also the department and St. Francis's reasonable efforts to reunite the family?
Yes.
Can you briefly tell us what the issues are with each parent that contributed to removal?
I believe, and I'm sorry, my computer just froze.
Your Honor, if I can strike that question and I'll ask a different one.
All right.
Thank you. Rebecca, was it?
My name is Laurie.
I'm sorry, Laurie, was it the department's understanding that the mother, Rebecca, struggled with substance abuse and homelessness?
Yes.
And was that the condition that we understood mother to be in at the time of removal?
Yes.
And have we learned since removal that Mr. Rimple also struggles with substance abuse?
Yes.
And at the time of incarceration, at the time of removal, he was incarcerated. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Now, given those sets of facts, can you tell me what services are uniquely tailored for Rebecca?
I'm not able to pull up the form exactly because there were several services, but I know the drug testing was one, the parenting classes was another, for them both.
Okay, so both of those
stable living environment as well, and employment, proof of employment for at least 6 months.
Okay, so for both of these parents, those services were chosen specifically for them. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, are we asking the court to make these service plans in order of the court today?
Yes, we are.
Okay, now do you believe that returning the children to Rebecca and Sean would be contrary to their welfare?
At this time, no, but if they met if they work services, yes.
I'm sorry, Miss, I don't think you understood my question. Would it be against the welfare of the children to be returned to their parents?
Yes.
Okay. Would returning the parents to either the mom or the dad pose a physical or emotional danger to the child?
You mean returning
Yes.
the children? You said returning the parents to either parent.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
thank
Returning the
you.
children to either parent.
It would be a danger to the children, yes.
Okay, pass the witness.
All right, Ms. Archer.
I don't have any questions at this time.
All right, thank you, Mr. Ingram.
No questions?
All right. Ms. Gutierrez, any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Archer, any witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Ms. Roybal, are the two boys still where they were at our last hearing? We're live on YouTube. I don't really like to mention where, but are they still where they were when we had our hearing in February?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, then, Mr. Ingram, recommendations, anything else from you?
Continue department's temporary managing conservator, continue placement as is. Boys are doing well. I don't think they had anything they wanted to address, but if you have questions of them, I'd certainly open that up for the court.
Yeah, I don't necessarily have any questions. Evan and Ethan, if I don't know who's with you, if you can unmute. Okay, is there anything either of you guys want to tell me today?
No, sir.
I heard one no, sir. How about the other one?
No shoe.
Okay, all right. I will ask you, I heard that you are now in counseling. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, you believe it's helping you?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, then, Mr. Ingram, anything else?
No, sir.
Okay, then I will continue the department's temporary managing conservator. I will continue the boys' current placements. I'll order the services for each parent is contained in their service plan. And I do make a finding today that return the boys to either parent would be a continuing danger to their physical health or safety, and it would also be contrary to their welfare. All right. We will have the next hearing in this case on July 17th, 2023. Ethan, Evan, you're always welcome to join these hearings. If you want to, just let either someone from St. Francis or CPS know, or you can let Mr. Ingram or Miss Orr know, and we'll be sure that you're able to attend.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, that will conclude this hearing. I'll be back in about 5 minutes or so to call a motion hearing. Ms. Wiggins is with us for the department. Mr. Ingram's with us representing the child. I believe Miss Lucero's with us on the phone line. Miss Lucero, is that you?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Miss Lucero's with us representing the father, Joseph Mata, who is not with us. And Mr. Adams is with us representing the mother, Laurie Mata, who is also not with us. You can proceed. Do you have witnesses to call?
I can call witnesses, Judge. I didn't know if the court just wanted to hear kind of a recitation and see if the mother and father will agree to the new trial.
I thought, yeah, if you could just, if we need testimony, we can get to that. But from reading your motion, I guess what you're saying is that to receive the Social Security benefits for Miss, was it Miss Jones? She can't receive them unless, I guess, is it her husband has to join in and be a managing conservator also? That's correct, Judge. Unaware to me, he was doing that while the department was PMC and TMC. He was the one accepting the benefits for Joseph. And so because I guess the grandmother is receiving benefits herself, she can't also receive benefits for Joseph. And so we're just requesting that we can reopen and add the grandfather and make him a conservator so they can financially be able to support Joseph. Okay, and they're still together, but it's just a matter of the rules of the Social Security that since he was receiving it, he needs to be named a conservator so that he can continue to receive it for the child. Yes, it's a very technical federal thing. Okay. All right, well, let me just ask, I know your clients aren't here, Mr. Adams. Do you have any objections today to the court granting the new trial for the limited purposes of joining grandfather and naming him a joint managing conservator?
No, Your Honor, we have no objection to that at all.
All right, Ms. Lucero, do you have any objections?
Your Honor, I don't have any objections. I sent a letter out to my client because he's incarcerated. I hadn't heard back from him, but I know that that's where he wants the child to always be, so I don't object to the new
Okay.
trial.
All right, Mr. Ingram, any objections?
No objection.
All right, then, I don't see any reason for any testimony then if it's obviously gonna be to the benefit of the child to receive additional benefits, and it will also help the grandparents. So I will grant the department's motion for new trial. Ms. Wiggins, I'll be happy when we reconvene, I'll be happy to take judicial notice of all the evidence that I heard at the previous hearing. You can do whatever you need to do. I'm not trying to tell you who to call and not
No,
call.
that's okay, Judge. Yeah, I feel like because everything else is going to stay the same, I'll probably just try to do an agreed order
Right.
for all the parties, since everything about the parents will stay absolutely the same.
Okay. What we'll do then, I just won't set another hearing for the final. If you can't work it out, just get with my office and we'll set it as quickly as you want me to reset it. Nobody's entitled to another 45 days notice, so we can have it whenever. So.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
All right, that will give me time to go try to find the Mills paperwork. So I'll be back. If I can find it, I'll be back at 10:30. If not, I'll be back as soon as I find it.
All right, thank you, Judge.
Okay, thank you all. Y'all have a good week.
You too.
Hey, Your Honor,
Yes.
if it helps, it's just a continuation of the status hearing. We got 95% of it done already. I think we're just going to go through, some medications.
Okay, well, I don't know what 95% we got done until I find the paperwork, but Haley's
Yes, sir.
not here today, but I'll find it. I'll be back if I'm a little late. I'm still looking. 4 p.m. on
Yes, sir. Thank you.
March 13th. So I assume I would have announced that, or else they would not have been able to comply.
I don't think that you announced about the placement and TMC being continued or the service plans being made in
Okay.
order of the court. I do
Okay.
believe that the adversary hearing order does order them to drug screen if the court orders it to, and if the department asks them to.
Okay.
But I
Yeah.
believe all the information on the service plans was provided during the hearing.
Okay, all right. So basically, you can just call whatever witnesses you need to concerning the children being on psychotropics.
Thank you, Your Honor. The department calls Courtney Brown as its witness.
All right, Ms. Brown, if you would, please raise your right hand. You swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right. You may proceed, Ms. Gutierrez.
Thank you, Your Honor. Courtney, you work for St. Francis, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you are assigned to Kiera, is that correct?
That's correct.
Now, we were last here on March 13th, and at that time, St. Francis had not been informed by placement that the child was now on psychotropic medication. Is that correct?
That's correct.
However, we were informed during the hearing by the child's guardian ad litem. Is that correct as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you please identify what psychotropic medications the child is on and what she is being given them for?
Yes, ma'am. So she is on methylphenidate for ADHD, fluoxetine as an antidepressant, risperidone for bipolar disorder, and then trazodone for her sleep issues.
And is placement making sure these medications are reviewed every 30 days by a psychiatrist?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And have any other issues arisen since the last court hearing on the 13th regarding the child?
No, ma'am.
Have any other issues regarding either parent arisen since the last court hearing on the 13th of March?
No, ma'am.
Okay, pass the witness.
Ms. Brown, this is being broadcast live on YouTube, but is Kiera still placed where she was that was announced at our last hearing on January 23rd?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, thank you. All right, Ms. Kincaid.
No questions, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Ingram.
No questions.
All right, Mr. Lindsay, this is Judge Graham again. You haven't been with us in previous hearings and we thought you were an alleged father, but just so you'll know, at the last hearing, well, I'm going to do the same thing today. I'm continuing the department as temporary managing conservator, and I'll continue Kiera's current placement. Have you been provided with a service plan by either St. Francis or the department?
No, sir. I was just served the original documents for the alleged lawsuit on March the 7th by Douglas County Sheriff's Department.
Okay.
So I've been out of the loop as far as this whole case concerned, and I contacted St. Francis on my own. So
Okay.
therefore, I've been in contact with the court clerk on my own, trying to get all the information and everything, that I could. And I mean, that's just where I'm at with it. I hadn't had any information up until this point besides what was just delivered to me on March the 7th.
Okay. Well, what I would suggest, I can't give you legal advice, but get that paperwork to me as quickly as you can, so that. Let me just ask you: are you currently working?
No, sir. I have a claim with Social Security, so until that claim is settled, I won't be actively working. I can work part-time or do stuff here and there, but I'm a licensed barber with the state of Georgia, so I can't actively just go back to work until the Social Security Administration comes with their decision.
Okay, good. So that tells me enough I need to know to let you know that you will be entitled to a court-appointed lawyer. You'll have to get the paperwork to me because I have to file it. But
Yes,
since you are, it seems like you are going to be the father, obviously, and you haven't been privy to any of our hearings. Haley, let's go ahead and let Mr. Lindsay know who his attorney is going to be.
Okay, give me just 1 second.
Okay.
Judge, I did send a copy of the family plan in the mail on February 16th.
Okay. I may put y'all in actually, I may just leave here in a minute, and then Mr. Lindsay can be sure you have his current information. He can be sure he has all the current information from everyone he needs. And then I can let Haley go into that. I'll be gone. She can let him know. I'll take this off YouTube then, and she can tell him how to contact his new lawyer.
Okay.
Mr. Lindsay, while she's looking that up, once you know who your lawyer is, contact that lawyer. Your lawyer will know, since we thought you were an alleged father and you're not, your lawyer will know what to do. You can discuss it with him. If there's anything that's gone on so far that you're unhappy with, that lawyer will know how to bring it back before the court's attention.
Yes, sir.
It will be Donna Christie, and I have his email address. I can email him her information.
Okay, let me just go ahead and take this off YouTube.